Hello. I'd like to give a book review regarding five books, sorry about that, five books that I feel is interesting reads for kids in grades of kindergarten to sixth grade. The first book that I'd like to talk about is called Amelia's Lost, The Life and Disappearances of Amelia Earhart. And here's a picture of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart lived between the years of 1897 to 1937. The book was written by an author by the name of Candace Flemings. It was published in 2011, and it is written for children between the ages of 10 and up. I recommend this book because it was such an interesting read. It's the mystery about her disappearance, and although we know that she never returned, the book still kind of built up and gave you historical information about that particular tragedy. Um, it was very fascinating. I think one of the strengths of the book is that the author was able to tell the story and create tension and build suspense throughout the book. I think one of the weaknesses of the book is that for me, it didn't have a lot of pictures, not too many pictures. But all in all, Amelia Earhart, the first lady to ever fly a plane, it was a very interesting read. The second book that I'd like to review is called So You Want to Be President. This book was written in 2004, and it was written by Judith St. George and illustrated by David Small. It had current facts and new illustrations throughout the book about 42 of our presidents, from George Washington to George Bush. I think one of the strengths of the book is that it was hilarious, it was very powerful, it inspired children to dream big and let them know that they can be president. The weakness that I felt the book had was that it stopped at Bill Clinton, and as you know, we've had several presidents since then, and but the book stopped at Bill Clinton, and so it hasn't been updated since. So that was the only weakness that I felt. I love the fact that it inspired children that anybody can be president if they work hard and are able to run a nation. I thought the pictures were good, and it was a very, very nice book. Okay. Another book that I would like to speak about is a book about Martin Luther King Jr., and I happen to have a picture of Martin Luther King. This book was written by Amy Paston, and it was published in 2004. And this book is targeted for children between the ages of 8 and 13. This particular book was in biography form, and it shared the life of Martin Luther King. It had over 100 photographs in it, and talked about the injustices, his life and his family, the massive protests, the movements, and things like that. It was a very good book, very interesting read. I think the strength of the book is that it really captured who Martin Luther King was through the massive amount of pictures that it had in the book. So it was something that the pictures really told the story. One of the weaknesses I felt of the book is that some of the quality of the pictures weren't very well illustrated. That was just my opinion. Another book that I reviewed was a book by Frank Murphy, and the book was called George Washington and the General's Dog. This particular book was published in 2008, and it was intended for the children between the ages of 5 and 8. This book was a very, very easy read, and it talked about the nation's first president and the dog that the president found while on the battlefield. It was a great way to tell history in a way that children can understand, and it gave a lot of known facts about our very first president. I think that this is a very good book to read to the class, and it will generate a lot of questions for discussion. So I thought it was a very, very great book. And the last book that I'd like to review is Lincoln's Last Days, a book by Bill O'Reilly that was published in 2012. This particular book is intended for children between the ages of 9 and 12, and it really, in a dramatic way, tells about that one night in history, that one bullet changed the country forever. Lincoln was one of my favorite presidents to read about because of what he stood for. And I think that one of the strengths of the book is that if there are children who, if there are parents, who love to read with their children, this was a great book that you could read together with your child. I thought that the chapters were short, the print was larger, which is good for my eyes, and the illustrations were very, very, very captivating. It's a book that when you read with your child, they probably will get so excited and, wait, Mom, one more page, wait, one more page. So it was a really, really, really good book to read. However, there was a couple little drawbacks, some weaknesses that I felt that stood out more than others, more than the other books. And one of the weaknesses was that this book really made references to sex and killing and violence and gave descriptions of it and things like that. So it all depends on, what you want to expose your child to as far as the weakness. As far as the descriptive terms in regards to sex and violence and all that. If you're ready to have that talk, then this would be a great book to begin reading with your child. That's all that I have. I hope that you have enjoyed my book reviews, and thank you very much.